You like
And that one?
yeah.
It's already on. It's red.
Perfect.
Red.
Ready?
Red.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Hey guys.
Hi. Welcome to
The Two Fly Girls podcast.
Today we have a really good guest on. I've been very excited.
I'm so excited.
I know.
Like all
Everyone's
girls.
excited. We couldn't hold it in telling everyone who we have on.
Yeah.
Renee, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, it's awesome. So I guess a little background on yourself for people. Most of our kind of listeners are kind of fight related. Mm-hmm. And that's funny is how I actually, I knew who you were, but it's how I guess we came into contact was after your exhibition fight.
Yes.
Which was amazing.
I cannot wait to hear about this, honestly.
But Renee is in motorsports. You started off in go-karting, am I correct?
Yeah, go-karting when I was 12 years old.
Yeah. And I guess, you tell it because it's your story. Yeah, tell us how everything started off and where you are at now, I guess.
Yeah, so it's a non-conventional path, I guess, for a young girl, but I started off go-karting when I was 12 years old. Came off the back of a family holiday. I don't know if you've ever been to Hamilton Island, how they have the little go-kart track there.
Yes.
My story differs a little bit from my sister's, but essentially I didn't want to go paragliding because I hate heights. And I threw a hissy fit, according to her. And I got my way and we went go-karting instead because it was on the ground and no heights involved. And, I went with Dad to start off with. And I remember I was just getting really shitty with him because I was like, oh, you are so slow, bro.
Yeah.
Get out of my way.
Yeah.
Like, you keep turning and I want to go this way. You're doing it wrong. And I thought I knew everything. They let me go by myself. And the guys were like, damn, like she's pretty quick for a little girl. I was like 11 at the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
And straight away, and then I think Dad was like shocked because people were going like, oh, look at that girl, look at her, because I was like overtaking all the boys. And I obviously could see and feel the energy and everyone was telling me how good I was and I loved it.
Yeah.
And came back, we went to Kingston Park Raceway and one thing led to another. I ended up getting one for my 12th birthday, fell in love with it, and started to get really, really competitive pretty quickly actually. I tell people, I'm like, from the time that I got the go-kart, Dad set a rule, basically, if you have to be within a second of the lap record before we can go racing and we do anything else with this, because he thought that was going to take forever. But it was like the next weekend. The next weekend I went there, it was done and dusted.
Blew
so
that
I was
out
like,
of the park.
enter me in a race, let's go. And then just slowly started to progress locally, then went interstate a little bit, down to New South Wales and stuff that was a bit close. And then eventually just did the whole national circuit. I raced all over Australia, did about 36 races a year, so a lot of time off school.
Yeah.
Full commitment. I had a mechanic that travelled Australia with me. I had about 6 go-karts, 10, 11 different engines. Like it was a full-blown production.
How old were you at this point?
14, 15?
Wow.
That's
So it was
young.
about a year or
amazing.
two later when we really ramped it up. And
Were you
then
the only girl or was it a mixed bag at that point?
when I started doing the interstate stuff, I saw more women in general, but not just on track, but the canteens, the ladies, in the car parks and all of that sort of stuff. With the local stuff that I did, there wasn't really any at all. It was when you started going to those bigger race meetings, obviously the boys brought their mums, their dads, their sisters. A lot of the sisters would have a go-kart because the brother had one and the dad's like, oh, I've got to get her one because the boy wants one. So I did see a lot more. But on a competitive level, really I was the only one for all of those years, right up until I left. So, it was a lot. And obviously I had great success and then I got picked up and got a manager and got some sponsorship and then moved into car racing. And, all these years later, here I am.
Yeah. And so
It's actually insane.
I know.
Like, I'm sorry. But I'm actually like, holy shit, I thought Beck and I did something cool.
You guys are cool.
And I'm like, no, this is like on a whole new level.
It's the same for me. I look at you guys and I'm like, man, they're fucking bad bitches. Baddies. I love it.
So you went into V8 supercars, right? Mm-hmm. And now you're racing for, is it GT?
Threes, yeah, so GT3 cars.
Okay,
yeah.
and an Audi R8,
Yes.
which my son is absolutely obsessed with.
That's the cool thing about the GT3 cars is they're like an attainable thing. Like they're like a road car, which is there's a lot of desire all over the world, right? So I get a lot of international viewers who watch GT3 racing all over the world and they can picture themselves buying an Audi R8. So it's really cool to have that connection with the fans, not just from a motorsport level, but from a you're driving my dream car.
Yeah.
It's really cool to connect with people like that.
Yeah. So when you were racing regionally, like as a young sort of 14, 15, 16, obviously none of that was paid, or was it paid?
No money involved whatsoever in that. That's all purely dad's money.
Dad investing in your
money,
future.
100%.
I love that.
That causes a lot of the issues. So many people, it's so funny online too, because people are like, oh, like daddy's money, and I'm like, I'm a 13-year-old girl.
Like, who else money is it going to be?
Exactly.
Sorry, I don't have a full-time job.
Do they say that when someone goes into, say, tennis or like golf? That's daddy and mummy's money that's
100%.
getting this child into this sport and to turn it into a career.
I think it's just the money's more, so people have like an issue with it. Like you're spending 100, 150. Some dads are spending 200. Some have multiple kids, so they're spending that times 3 or 4 boys, right?
You know, what I think it also is that they feel like they haven't made it because they didn't have mummy or daddy to help fund
100%.
it. They're basically saying, I'm just as good.
Yeah.
I just didn't have money. And it's like, well, that's not true. You didn't have, like, you had the skill from the get-go. You had that wow factor, that it
My
factor
dad
from
had
the
to
get-go.
find the money to spend it because he was like, fuck, I've got something, I can't let it go, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people think that their parents just spend the money willy-nilly, but it's not necessarily the case.
No.
Most parents aren't going to spend the money if your kid's not good,
No.
if your kid's not driven, if he's not motivated,
Exactly.
if he doesn't have results or he or she doesn't have results,
Yeah.
they're not going to spend that much. That's a family holiday for some of
Yeah,
these people,
exactly.
you know?
Yes.
So I feel like a lot of people have a misconception. And the age thing, it's like, whose else money was I going to spend?
Yeah.
If I could have earned money and contributed, I would have.
Yeah.
And when I was able to, I did.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
No, we
and it's
had
paid off
Sugar.
now, I'm sure.
Yeah, we had Sugar on a couple of episodes ago, and we were literally talking about the same thing. Me and her both started at like 12, 13, 14, and we got to a stage where, same thing, it's like we didn't have any money, but we were I was representing Australia in Muay Thai, going to Malaysia. My parents had to fund those trips.
Yeah.
It's like they saw the work ethic and the drive that we have in the sport we're doing. Of course they want to support us if they're able to. And people just look at that, and
Well,
it's they didn't have that.
Yeah.
And they wish they obviously couldn't commit to something
I feel
strong
like
enough to have that.
parents know. I feel like parents know. Like my dad knew. He was so cautious. He avoided it at all costs. He knew nothing about cars, nothing about motorsport. He had zero fucking interest in go-karting, going to a racetrack. Like, he hates it still to this day. I take him to a racetrack and everyone's like, oh, how cool. And he's like, oh, I fucking hate car racing. Like, he doesn't enjoy it. It's not his thing, right? So I strongly believe that if the parents are the reason why kids make it, yes, because they've got the money, but even if they don't, I feel like you can still guide. Like, my dad didn't have all the money in the world, and we sure as hell weren't the richest people there. Like, motorsport has very wealthy families in there, and they don't make it to the top because they've got all the money, but the drive and the ambition for the kids aren't there.
And
so
the talent.
I feel like if you don't have the money, there are still ways that you can push your kid to be with somebody. You can find a mentor. You can find other families and other people that have money and say, my daughter needs 50 grand to race a go-kart. Can you pay it? I'll pay you back. Like, there's ways around it. 100% there's ways around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find, I'm not sure if it's the same for you, because being in male-dominated sport, something so stupid I posted yesterday is we're doing home renos, and my husband has done laying the floorboards. And I'm like, I'm going to do one, and I'm going to film it and pretend like I've done it.
I love that.
And I was doing it, and there were so many comments like, I can't believe you just top nailed that tongue and groove hardwood flooring. And I'm like, how else am I going to do it? And they're like, oh, you meant to do it like this and this. And I'm like, you couldn't just be happy with me being like scared of the nail gun. And like, I was clearly like, obviously didn't do all the floorboards. Like, and it was just like someone just couldn't handle that I was trying to do something that they could do.
Yeah. They probably can't even do it.
all
they were
that.
just frustrated that you might actually be able to do it.
And I had the balls to like film and put it on Instagram. And I'm trying to do home renos. Like, get off my dick.
Oh, it's so frustrating. My whole thing with motorsport is obviously cars. Every masculine man in the history of the universe, it's like a rite of passage. If you're not a man unless you know stuff about cars almost, right? It's such an old school mentality, maybe not so much these days, but I feel like when I was sort of coming up, it was still very much so a thing. And it's like, guys are like, oh yeah, what car do you drive? How many cylinders? This, and this. And I'm just like, I actually went to automotive school and got certificates and all this stuff to actually
be able to
be able to turn around and be like, I actually do know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Go away.
They quiz quizzing
alone.
you to make
They're
sure that
fully
you're.
quizzing
Oh,
you.
just because you race cars doesn't mean you're not underneath it. And it's like, well, actually, here's my certificates. I'm qualified.
Yeah.
And shut up.
And also,
Yeah.
all I need to do is drive the thing.
Yeah.
So please.
And really good.
I have a mechanic and I have a team.
And that's all. Exactly. That's all I ever say to people. I'm like, I just race the thing. Like, just because I race the car also doesn't mean I don't actually have an understanding for what's going on, because you
Yeah.
need to have a bit of a
Yes.
brain. And it's just one thing after the other with anything to do with motorsport, even at the track, cars, away from the track, like talking about like the trucks that transport the cars. Like, guys will find anything
Anything to pick
quiz
at
you.
you.
Yes.
100%. It's so frustrating.
And then they're always like, well, that's because you're a girl.
Exactly.
We get that a lot in fighting
Yeah.
as well, because every
Yeah.
man thinks that they can fight.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I'd kick your ass. Like, I even had, it was someone, he was trying to crack on to me. He's like, you want to spar? I'm like, how is that? Like, that's not a pickup line. You want to punch me in the face is basically
Yeah,
what I'm
it's either
hearing.
that
It's like,
or-
that's so weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
It's either that or like, can you choke me out?
Yes, that will I will
Wow.
oblige.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah.
So with the race car, look, I'm just so intrigued. Honestly, I'm so intrigued because I have nothing.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
in
not
the
your
sport.
scene at all. It's
I'm like,
not my
shit,
scene
I need to
either.
learn about it. So is there like vigorous training involved in the lead up to a race?
Yeah, so this is the cool and interesting and strange thing about motorsport, that I feel like something like when I started doing some boxing, I had so much like appreciation for other sports, and it's a weird perspective. So in motorsport, everything costs money. Like the
Yeah.
consumables, fuel, oil, tire, like everything. Every time you
Everything.
touch the car, move it, like
Money.
transportation, trucks, like it costs dollars and cents every time, right?
Yeah.
And because of that, things are limited. So testing is very limited. This is probably the most testing I've ever
Just
done.
pause for a second.
Sorry. I reckon it's something with that mic.
Obviously, I'm so learning all of this new about. Start that again.
So learning all of this new.
Okay, so obviously,
We'll keep that in.
Yeah. Cannot put his head to stop. So obviously, I'm learning all about this sport. Tell me about training for races and how that comes about. How do you train? Fuck, what
Do you
can I say?
train?
Do we train?
Do you train, like, so for obviously a fight camp, we train twice a day. I'm sure it's different for motorsports because obviously there's so much more moving parts, quite literally.
Yeah.
So
Literally.
how do you get ready for a race? Like, and especially because you race all year round, correct?
Throughout the year,
Yeah.
yeah. Yep. It's really difficult. Motorsport is super expensive. Everything that you touch, every time you drive somewhere, touch whatever it is, like everything,
Yeah.
the labour, the mechanics to set the car up, the trucks to get there, like everything is expensive. So testing is limited. So test days normally for some people, depending on budget, are non-existent. You just rock up and race. I've been fortunate enough the last couple of years that I've been running in the GT3, budgeted 4 test days. So I normally have anywhere from 3 to 5 a year, generally spaced throughout between, it's normally like 2 weeks before we go to the actual track and race. Some other categories have control testing where you might only have 1 or 2 a year. It really just depends. And these tracks that some guys race at and we race at sometimes don't exist during the year because they're street circuits. So
So you can't
they're not a
practice
thing.
the track.
So you can't practice.
Yeah.
So you really don't know until you get there on the day.
90% of the time, and you get like we have a 10-day cutoff so that you can't actually test on the track 10 days prior to a race meeting. So we're generally there about 2 weeks prior. The track 2 weeks before we actually get there on a race meeting is completely different, but it's more just to actually understand
Yeah.
the track and where we're going. We do
Yeah.
a lot of simulator stuff now. Simulator stuff's getting really quite
Okay.
popular because it's really realistic.
Yes.
I did a sim session yesterday for 2 hours, for example, in preparation for my next race.
Yeah.
It's all about like visual cues. I put a VR headset on and track my eyesight to make sure I'm looking at the right braking markers. It's not necessarily about the time. It's more just when I get to the track, because I haven't been there before,
Yeah.
I know what board I have to look at. I know what braking marker is. I know what gear I have to be in.
Yeah.
Everything else you have to pick up. You have to pick up. You have to figure out how much grip the track's got. All of that stuff you have to
Yes.
just on the
Figure out
fly
on
when
the
you're
day.
there. Then from a physicality point of view, a lot of people don't realise that motorsport's actually quite physically demanding. Not overly. You don't get big, strong, buff Formula One drivers, but they're quietly quite strong and fit, and they're deceivingly fit. And they don't look big, strong and muscly, but they're actually quite strong.
Like a rock climber.
Yeah. And they've got grip strength, they've got
Yeah.
the neck strength, they've got the leg strength. I think there were some statistics that came out years ago, I think for the Bathurst 1000, every brake pressure every time you touch the brake, the minimum brake pressure is like 80 kilos. So it's basically like an 80 kilo leg press.
Wow.
And there's 20 something corners and you're doing 100 laps. So it's a weird kind of fitness.
Yeah.
But then you get a 7-second straight where you can have a drink, you got the fan on, you have a chat to your engineer, you relax, and then you're bang, bang, bang. You're down the gears.
And how fast are you going on that 7 seconds straight, mind you?
Like 290.
Just have a relax, just have a drink, have a chat. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's
That's
relaxing
chill.
to you.
Yeah, that's the chill.
insane to me. I love that.
Trust
But
me,
that
going
is
through the
insane.
corners at, you're going through the corners sometimes at 100.
Yeah.
And you're just hanging on for dear life. I'd rather go down a straight line.
Wow,
That's
that
your
is
time
insane.
to go, oh, thank God that lap's over. Oh, I'm going to do it
Now
again.
you have to get ready for the next one.
Have you ever worn, or do you wear like a heart rate monitor to see like literally what you burn in a race, how high your heart rate goes? Have you worn one
I
of them?
have recently. I've got my Ultra Human ring that I've started at the start of
I've
the
got an
year.
Aura ring.
Oh, you've got an Aura. I'm sorry, I can't
an
pay
Aura
the
girl.
subscription off.
I don't have a heart, so
You don't need to track anything. I have and I do. It's fascinating. The stuff that's actually the worst is the steps. Like I can do anywhere from 25 to 30,000 steps in a weekend.
yeah.
Wow.
You're fucking walking everywhere. Racetracks
Yeah.
are big, right?
Yeah.
You're walking all over the shop. So
Yeah.
that's something. And I knew that my recovery, I'm a really fussy sleeper. I'm a light sleeper. I'm really big on sleep. And generally 9 times out of 10, we try to get the best hotel rooms, but sometimes we're racing in literally the middle of nowhere and you don't get that
So good
option.
luck.
Yeah.
So it's really difficult. So I got it mainly for my recovery to make
Yeah.
sure that I was getting good sleep and to use it as an excuse. Like, hey, I've got to go to bed. Like my
Yes.
ring is telling
I'm the
me
same.
this is my bedtime for
Yeah.
optimal rest and recovery. I have a big day tomorrow. I'm cutting
Yeah.
everyone off. I'm out of here and I literally can smoke bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a big side of things. And I don't think you realize until you start tracking it. But I mean, I've had days where I thought that my heart rate would be up and high and it's not. And then I come back in from races sometimes and my heart rate's been all over the place. And
Yeah.
it's weird. Things just
That's
happen.
so true.
It's
That's what I'm
unpredictable.
finding as well.
It's all over the shop.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what was I doing then? I'm like, oh, I would have been about like 6 laps into practice 2. And I'm like, oh, that's right. Like old mate pulled out in front of me or,
Yeah, something happened
and
out
you
of
get a
the
spike in the
norm.
heart rate. Sometimes it doesn't come down. Sometimes it goes down straight away. Other times, once it's up, it stays up and I'm wired the whole session. You don't feel it, but when you actually look back at the data,
Yeah.
it's really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. So in a week, take us through like your training week. So how often do you do like track specific stuff and as opposed to like your strength training?
So at the moment, I'm twice a week strength training and then I'm kind of just like light cardio
Yep.
every other day of the week, essentially. I am at the end of my season right now and I feel like I'm at the point where I put a lot of work in at the start of the year as well because of my boxing match that I've been able to maintain my fitness. So for me, I'm sort of going into this next phase of wanting to build more strength.
Yep.
I have had neck issues and a few issues from all the go-karting years, not wearing a neck brace. I've got degenerative disc disease in my neck.
Oh, wow.
So I've been on a 2-year mission, but really in the last 12 months, really trying to ramp that up because I'm so sick and tired of having a sore neck.
Have you, sorry, I'm going to butt in. Have you heard of the iron neck? Oh my goodness.
Is that the chain, this thing?
Yeah.
That you
so-
strap on your head?
Yeah, I've got one.
I used
haven't
to be
used
scared
it.
to do that because I thought that I would literally snap my neck. But now I feel
No.
like I could do some
Yeah.
actual neck strengthening.
Yeah,
now.
have a look into it. All the NFL players use it. I think that's where it originated was in football, and then a lot of MMA fighters, wrestlers, and stuff
Yeah.
are using it for. It's for mobility, and strength. So it's kind of like spins on a halo kind of thing.
Yeah,
and
I
you
think I've
spin,
seen them.
And
Yeah.
it's in like my husband raves about it. I've only done it a handful of times. I've got one. It's just sitting in storage right
Yeah,
now.
waiting.
But he raves about it. So yeah,
I'm
I'll,
going to have to get one because I just use the band.
you're more than welcome to try ours out because it's just sitting in storage, and then because it was pretty pricey when
Yeah, it
we
would be.
first bought it.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe, like, neck stuff's obviously so important. And I
Yeah.
naturally obviously have a strong neck just from racing and I've
Yeah.
worked on it. But to have, and I would hurt it doing the most stupidest shit, like picking up the TV remote off the couch
I
or
feel like
something.
that's my life.
Like, it's just...
Like we punch each other
Yeah.
every day, we wrestle, we do all this. And then fucking yesterday I was packing a suitcase, literally just fell over the suitcase, landed on my kneecap and thought I'd broken my leg.
Yeah.
I was like, what the
quads.
Yeah,
How?
literally, I can relate to that so much. I do
So
the
you're
most
doing
stupidest
strength
shit.
and conditioning stuff to help with your neck stability and
Yeah, just to really work on it because it's
Yeah.
it's been a long journey. Obviously, I've had so many whiplash injuries; it's progressively got worse.
Yeah.
And I was originally told that obviously to avoid doing anything with my neck, and then I found out like avoidance wasn't really the fix, and to actually be proactive. So I fixed that. And then a lot of mental stuff as well. Like if I'm going to a round, I do a lot of visualization. I watch a lot of track footage. I study multiple other drivers' laps, maybe my lap from last year. And it might sound silly, but a lot of stuff that like not that I doubt myself, but I try to go into it to make sure I'm like, right, this is the time I did last year.
Yeah.
I'm so much better than I was this year. If I don't come away from this weekend at least doing this time, how am I going to get that?
Self-affirmations.
How am I going to get that time? What am I going to do? If I've got to get to this, where's the easiest time to find? What's going to be the hardest thing? I need to tackle that first. Like I have those
That's
internal
awesome.
conversations weeks before I get there. And the hardest thing is sometimes I hype myself up because then when I get there, I'm not doing it. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, but what I
told
do,
yourself.
yeah, but what I do like about that is you're not saying, oh, you're not worrying about the other competitors. You're not like, I need to beat that person. I need to beat that person's time. It's all on you. You're like,
you're in control
yeah,
of.
which
very much
is
so.
really, really cool.
I think with motorsport, it's interesting. And obviously from your perspective, most of the time you're only fighting one other person and you can focus on that person more. In my instance, I have like 17, 18, 19 other dudes.
You're not going to waste energy thinking
Like,
of 17 other people's
Try and figure
plan.
them out. Yeah,
exactly.
They don't even know what they're doing
No,
half the time.
that's
That's
it.
so
So
They're
it's like-
unpredictable because they don't even know.
So unpredictable. And some of them are full-time racers and professional racing car drivers. Others aren't. They race just as much as me. Maybe they have less experience, whatever it may be. So there is a mixed bag of experience levels and people who are racing, the reasons why they're racing, whatever it may be. So, yeah, you get used to them because you compete with them all year, but at the same time, there is only so much you can do.
on your focus.
And you've just
But
got
you
to
can
know.
control yourself. You can
100%.
prepare yourself for what you're going to do and how you're going to tackle it.
I generally try to fight those battles of uncertainty in the pits and actually off the track, like being friendly, being nice.
Yeah.
And sometimes if I'm in a good position, I'll just walk straight up to them and be like, I'm on the inside starting. Let me through. If you're quicker than me after the first lap, I'll let you past.
I'll let you go.
Like I
Yes.
try to just avoid as much as I can.
Yeah.
Obviously, some guys don't have those conversations with me at all, and some will just go and do the opposite.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
okay.
try to avoid to the best of my ability. But like it's the chances are always
It's a
quite
wild
slim.
card.
Yeah, yeah.
Before we get into your boxing facts, I'm so excited about that. The last thing I want to ask is, you had a big break from the track. What was the reason behind that? And you returning, how did you feel coming back? Were you in a different headspace? All of that stuff.
So the break, I normally say people like I took the break because I got over motorsport, but that's not true. I don't think, based off where I am now, I think that's obviously not true. But at the time, I went through so much shit. So I had a manager that I had a falling out with. I hadn't been talking to my dad for 2 years. We miraculously somehow were running out of budget. I did the Bathurst 1000. I did 2 back-to-backs. The first year I crashed on lap 16. And then the second year we came back, we actually finished 14th. But I sort of say that was the start of the end because it really propelled me into this aggressive, I guess, persona and perception of how people were going to treat me forever if I did what I wanted to do, and I was like, fuck that, I'm not doing that. Like, I cannot be treated.
Yeah.
I don't want to be spoken to like this. I don't want to be, like, it was just awful.
Just
and I was
over it.
already having an awful time just being the way that I was being treated, having issues with the manager at the time, not talking to my dad, a breakdown in the family because of what I was doing, and I was making no money.
Yeah.
I was getting severely harassed, bullied, sexually, physically, every sort of abuse that you could possibly imagine where people
Inside the sport.
inside the sport, outside the sport, online, you name it, everywhere. Everywhere I looked, turned, there was more negativity than there was positivity.
Yeah.
And it was really quite awful. And I think the Bathurst 1000 really amplified that, where I was like, man, like, I've got negative $50 in my bank account.
Yeah.
I'm broke as shit.
Yeah.
This is the only thing that I've ever dedicated my whole entire life to. And I have people throwing beer cans at me,
What am I
telling
doing
me
it
that
for?
I'm a mobile chicane, that I'm useless, that I should go in the kitchen, make a sandwich, and that I should burn in hell.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck this, I'm out of here. Like,
It is honestly
fuck
so
off.
relatable.
Yeah.
It is so relatable because
Yeah.
that's what a lot of
Yeah.
us females struggle with in combat sports.
It's the wildest thing to think that people can't just put their thoughts aside and respect someone's determination.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's not even about the results. That's what I don't understand. If I see someone giving it a red hot crack, I don't care if they're shit.
Yeah, you're happy for them.
You do
giving
you.
it a go.
Like, you do you.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the whole thing
and it
for me.
doesn't affect you to not
To support someone having a go.
It doesn't affect you. It's free.
I generally love the people who are coming last. They're the ones who I'm, putting bets on, like who I love to watch, and I'm like, oh, is this guy going to be an underdog? Like, they're the people that I watch because I love that. Like, he's not the best person here tonight. He's not the best person on the track. He's not the best person fighting.
But he's still here.
But he's here.
He's here and he's giving it a go, and I love that because obviously it's motivational for me. But it's also, what if they do win?
Yeah.
Like that's what is going to keep them going. So I love that chase for them of that what if.
Yeah.
And I can understand that what if and that chase, right? And I feel like a lot of people can't fathom that.
No.
They can't fathom supporting a loser, the loser. It's crazy.
I don't know if it's worldwide, but it's very prominent in Australia. It's like tall poppy syndrome. They can't handle someone either, even if you're not successful, or you are successful but you're not, winning all the time. They can't handle that you're giving it a go and you have the balls to do something that they obviously can't, or they've never had, not they haven't had the opportunity, but they've never made it there, even if they tried, because they were too pussy to try it, to stick something out, give it a go and just see what happened, put themselves out there on the world stage. So a lot of people will just pick apart and find a reason to hate instead of just be happy, or don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
Don't have anything nice to say. They have to.
They have to.
And it's a really sad, I think, it's very sad that that's kind of Australian culture.
Yeah, it really is. I feel like motorsport made me a really good loser.
Yeah.
Because I'm great at losing. And I'm also very humble at winning because I'm like, oh, shit, that doesn't happen very
Goes
often.
hand in hand.
And it's sort of like I when I win, I'm like, this is awesome. How good's this? I don't know how long this is going to last. Like, this is great.
But you appreciate it.
I appreciate it and I love it and I enjoy it. But also when you're competing in a field of 20 people, you can still come second, but
you're still lost.
You're still lost. People still class you as a loser.
Yes.
And I feel like I've done races and I've competed in things where I'm like, that was the best moment. Like even this year, I'm like, that was the best moment of my life. That was the best race I've ever had. That was the most fun I've ever had. This is the highlight of my motorsport career. But I'm finishing 8th.
Yeah.
But it's like I've just done the best thing that everything I've executed pit stops. I've done everything and I've hopped out of the car with the biggest smile on my face.
Yeah.
And then this is what I live for, is this stuff. But I'm 8th, right? And people can't understand. I don't go out there for a position. It's a bonus. It's a benefit and I'm competitive. But sometimes it's those moments that mean way more.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That just gave me goosebumps. So when you first decided to step away from the track, how old were you?
22.
So still super young.
22, yeah.
Yeah. And then coming back, so you came back in 2023.
Yes.
How was that coming back into the sport? How did you feel? Did you feel like over that time you'd matured, gotten older, sort of put your focus on other things, and then did you come back
Fresher
and more fulfilled? Like, do you feel like I'm only saying this because I feel like this is something I go through. Did you feel like the first stint on the track was your whole life, and you're almost in survival mode?
Absolutely.
And now coming back, you've grown as a person and you've got other interests and stuff, and you're happier?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like when I left, I thought I hated motorsport. It took me 2 to 3 years to realise that I didn't.
Yeah.
I was in denial. And I probably could have thought to myself I loved it and never actually lost my love of the sport. But I think it was pretty much from the start. Like the 6-year career that I had in the beginning was basically just a constant. I was dealing with shit
Fight or
constantly.
flight.
It was the whole time, whole time. And there was highs, but the lows were lows.
Yes.
And they cancelled out anything good that happened. And I feel like that just got embedded from day one, from even my go-karting career, like dad's yelling at me and all sorts of stuff, right? So it did take me some time. And then I just feel like I just started to accept the fact that motorsport was a part of me. I had fans. I was trying to run from it. And then I feel like I started watching it on TV again.
Yeah.
I bought another
Toes
go-kart.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, you know what? And I got the go-kart and I did some racing and I'm like, I fucking love this shit.
Yes.
This is what I love, and that's what ignited it, obviously. And I think it's funny because obviously I was older, more mature when I returned. I was very nervous and scared about people's perception of me. obviously stuff had come out about how I was treated in certain categories. I had a documentary that was about to be dropped, and I knew that it was going to ruffle some feathers, but it was basically like, all I want to do is prove to myself that I do love it.
Yeah.
And that was my mission.
That was your motivation.
I needed to get back in a seat, compete competitively on a level that I had come from, like a high level, not just for fun. I wanted to actually be where I was. And prove to myself that I deep down, I'm like, I know that I love this. I should have never have left.
Yeah.
And I need to prove to myself that this is what I want to do, and this is a passion of mine that I should have never have left. Yeah. And I did that, and 3 years later, I'm still here, and I haven't left.
Is the industry treating you better now, or are you still trying to deal with those fucking hurdles of...
I still have the hurdles to a degree, but I feel like it has blown my mind substantially how well I've been treated this time round.
Yeah, good.
But I think the time off that I spent and the things that I've done, I've established a pretty strong don't fuck with me mentality.
Yes.
And
I call it unfuckwithable.
yes.
Yeah.
I think I worked pretty hard on that, and I did a good job of it to a degree.
Yeah.
If you say the wrong thing, I'm calling you out. If you fuck me over, I'm calling you out.
Yes.
I'm just going to do it because it's 2025, fuck you. And I have no favours to anybody, and I lived my past career worried about what other people thought, and it got me nowhere.
Yeah,
So
I love
I've
that.
learnt my lesson, and
good.
I tell people how it is, and it's for me, it's very simple.
Yeah.
If you want me around, like if I'm trying to get into another category or do whatever, it's, do you want me? Will you have me? And if the answer is no, just tell me fucking no.
Tell me
Yes.
straight.
Don't beat around the bush.
Don't waste my time.
Just say you want nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Don't waste my time, I won't waste yours. Be honest.
Yeah.
And I feel like that has just eliminated any bullshit.
Yeah, good.
It's straight
That's
out the
awesome.
back. Tell me how it is.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take
You know where you
offense to
stand.
it. Exactly. It's
You're not
so
going
much
to waste
easier.
any time and energy trying to put it into something that doesn't want you.
And I did that for
Yes.
so
Yeah.
many years.
Yeah.
I was so worried about what people thought, what people wanted, and I
But you're
molded
also
for
so
so
young
long.
too. Like
Yeah.
that's such a 18 to 22. Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I feel like I don't know. We all sort of go through that. Like
Yeah.
we speak about different coaches, different gyms we have, and you sort of get treated a certain way. And at the time, you wouldn't have done anything about it. But if I look back now, I would have been like, "Fuck you!"
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be treated like that. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you just put up with it.
I always tell my one friend who really struggles with that, I always say, what you allow, they will. And it's, if you allow people to treat you a certain way, they will.
Yes.
Whether you want to see the good in them, if you're going to allow something, someone will always take advantage of it. And I'm not saying that
100%.
they intend to,
Yeah.
but you need to set your boundaries. You've got to know your worth and where you stand, and your whole life will change if you just
That's cool.
think of that
Yeah.
concept when approaching anything, any kind of relationship, business relationship, any sport, anyone that you come into path with. You have to have a boundary of what you will accept and why, and stick to your guns.
Yeah, it's so true. And I feel like I thought being a yes man was going to get me far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually being a no man or a no woman has actually got me further. And
Yeah.
it makes no sense. And I tell people, I'm like, nah, not doing it. And they're like, wow, it's a great opportunity. And I said, no, it's not.
But do you find doing that you gain so much more respect in that way? Because they're like, oh, she's got boundaries. And if I want her to do something, or like I'm going to have to work for it,
Yep.
she's not a pushover.
Yep, 100%. And I feel like I've said no more than I've ever said no, and I've got more from it. Like I get opportunities. People come to me, they approach me differently, the way they talk to me, or people just know not to bother. Like
Yes.
don't waste your time. I don't think she's going to do that. I won't ask. Because they've heard through the grapevine. And it's not being a diva, it's not being anything, it's protecting my peace, it's protecting me, because I've been in a place, deep, dark hole where I never thought I'd come out of. And there's moments in my life where I thought I was never going to have a life again. And I've been in those trenches.
Yeah.
And I will never, ever, ever allow anybody else to put me in those trenches.
Yeah.
And it's not being hard work, it's not being pretentious, it's not being a bitch, it's just protecting myself.
Absolutely.
It's knowing your worth as well.
Yeah.
So what
Here
made
we
you...
go.
Now we're into the boxing fight. What made you want to have a boxing fight?
Okay, so I got asked to do a boxing match. I said yes straight away.
Yeah.
I feel like I have always shown interest in combat sport to a degree. Like I've always just loved, I remember when it was Ronda Rousey and Holly
Yes.
Ho, I was like, Like, wow, I feel like they've, to me, and like my timeline of like watching combat sport, when they came out, I was post motorsport, but seeing women successful, I just remember that being like the most fucking craziest thing in the whole entire world, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I just, for some reason, was fixated, and I feel like I've always shown an interest in it from the fact that motorsport is like a chess game. I know people don't think that and people don't understand it, but there's a lot that goes in the background, and strategies. We do endurance racing. We're racing for an hour. There's so much to know, and I feel like even when I'm racing someone, I know that, okay, I'm faster than them in this corner. I have to set them up for the next corner. Like, it's a very strategic chess game.
You have to be one step ahead every time.
Always. If I'm going to pass them on this corner, the work needs to be done 4 laps, a couple laps before, 4 corners before.
To be in the right position.
And that's exactly what's funny.
To grab onto my strengths, and then I know where they're weak, and it's a very strategic game, and it's really satisfying. It's something that I love about the sport, and I always saw that in boxing or UFC and combat sport, mainly UFC. That's what I saw first, was UFC when it was really big. And I just remember thinking like, oh, what's he going to do next? And I'm like, oh, he's making him do that. Like I can see, he's baiting him. Don't fall for it. And like, keep in mind, I know fucking nothing.
But isn't it crazy?
Nothing.
They correlate because
so well.
You're like, that's how your brain works on the track, and it's like you're looking at a totally different sport,
and I can see
figure it out.
It's crazy. So I feel like I kind of like had an inkling, never had an opportunity. I always kind of, like, I'm a bit aggressive, like, fucking oath, I'll punch someone.
You're a bit of a rough
I'm rough. Like, everyone's like, oh, what about your face? I'm like, oh, another excuse
I won't get hit.
Plastic surgery. What are you talking about? I just got my nose done. I have no problem with anything. And I wasn't like, the thought of it wasn't scary, and I just was like, absolutely, I feel like
that cannot be scary to you from being in a car going that fast. Like,
I'm not overly, it was never really something. The only thing was obviously like, once my main concern was obviously like, I don't want to get a brain injury or anything hectic, but then it's kind of like, 14-ounce gloves, we've got headgear, like everything will be okay.
It was monitored or diluted into where you getting injured was very low on the scale.
I remember my dad was stressed about it, and I thought the same thing. I'm like, I don't want, especially on the night, like if there was a medical doctor there and they didn't clear me or it affected my motorsport, I'm like, oh shit.
Is it worth it?
Is it worth it? That's the only concern I had. And then it wasn't even that I thought it was going to happen. It was just I can't have it affect anything that I'm doing, right? And Dad was really stressed about it, and I'm like to Dad, I have done enough sparring and boxing now. I'm like, I don't even think someone could knock me out if they try. I've got headgear on,
your chin,
14-ounce gloves, and I can take a fucking punch. Like, after a couple of sessions, I'm like, some of the boys have like fucking rattled me, like to the point where I'm kind of like, whoa, that hurt. Like that was a bit like stressful. And I remember like taking my breath away, and I remember going like, fuck you, that was really hard. And then I'm like, oh, but I made it.
And I'm still here.
And then that's when I was like, okay, like I'm going to be okay. And once I also realized that's when I started to get really into it. Like I started to worry about less and just really focus on the art of it, I guess, and try to understand everything. Like in the beginning, I spent more time asking questions than I did throwing punches. I'm like, why does someone do that? Like, see how that guy does that? What's the point of that? And I'm like asking all these questions.
But that's actually the best.
That's the best student as well.
Absolutely.
Someone that's wanting to ask questions and find out the why to it, not just, I'm just going to hit this person really hard.
Yeah, I want to know the reason.
Any reason or what's leading up to that, how for you to even be able to be in the position to punch someone really hard.
And that's what I loved about it. And I think that was always like in the back of my mind, and I knew that if it was technical and strategic like motorsport, I was going to love it regardless if I was good at it or not. I was going to enjoy the process, and I was going to enjoy learning it because it gives me that sense of satisfaction like motorsport did. And it absolutely did. Like, it was the best thing I ever did.
Well, I want to know, on an adrenaline chart, what was more hectic? What is more hectic? Or does it match? Did you feel that same adrenaline in that boxing
thrill,
match?
I guess.
The thrill.
So I kind of say in the beginning, the camp and the training and like the fitness side of things, I wasn't overly doing much like technical boxing. I was learning what like I still can't remember like 1, 2, 3, 5, and I'm like, what one's 5 again? Like I did that for so long.
I've been doing it for like nearly 20 years.
Yeah,
I still
numbers
do the
are
same thing.
fucked.
I'm like, huh?
Dude, numbers are fucked.
It's like 6, 7, 1, and I'm like, fuck.
Wait till you bring
6
kicks
left
in.
or right?
Wait till you bring kicks in and then they start calling them red and black. I'm
Yeah.
like, one black.
Too far. Too
No.
far. Just say kick.
You lost me at numbers, let alone colours. But yeah, I forgot what I was saying now. We lost track.
The thrill.
Oh,
The
the adrenaline. So the training and the intensity and like the level that you put, and this goes back to the training and preparation too, because I had never been in a sport that had no restrictions.
Yeah, okay.
And I think that's why I went so hard.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, fuck, it doesn't cost 30 grand for a test day. I can go to the
just
gym
come and-
twice
Yeah.
a day and do 2 classes.
Yeah.
And I can do everything. And I can buy a boxing bag and have it at home.
Yeah.
What do you
Train
mean?
whenever you want.
It was like, boof, mind blown. Like I had
Yes.
never been in a sport where I had done that before. And I went crazy. Like I
Yeah.
did so much training. But that was like the draw. I wake up in the morning and I had someone that I sparred and she was smaller than me, but fuck, she was just quick and she punched really hard.
Yeah.
And every day I knew that I was sparring her. I'm like, right, every day I can get her with a hook. And like I'm thinking about like that intensity.
Waking up thinking about it.
And
yeah.
like that grunt of like excitement I haven't had that in a long time. I think I might have had that in go-karting obviously, but I haven't had that level of just like constant obsession and adrenaline
It's crazy.
to
It's
just
crazy.
get better and to improve.
It steals like months of your life getting ready for a fight because that's all you think about.
Yeah.
Eat, sleep,
yeah.
training, getting ready for this one opponent, what you're doing. It does really steal like months of your life.
That journey is like nothing I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
So I feel like, and after I did it, I honestly said to people like at the next race, I'm like, boxing is way harder than motorsport. I'm like, in what I do and like the level of seriousness, and I think a lot of the boys probably are quite naturally talented, gifted, they train and they work out and stuff, but it's like it's a different thing. And like when I'm explaining it to them, I'm like,
they're different animals.
it's
hard
so
to
different, but it's the same. It's so
Yeah.
strange. And I definitely think that boxing made me a better racing car driver.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't think
awesome.
that I would have been able to do what I did this year if it wasn't for everything that I did. And I think that obsession and that drive to do better carried over into my motorsport as well.
Yeah.
And I think doing something that's easier, this is going to sound crazy, when I hopped in the car, I'm like, oh, fucking thank God. I don't have to spar that bitch.
No, it's crazy.
I
eh?
hopped into
Now
something.
you're in control. 'Cause
Yeah.
in boxing, you are in control, but you
can't
still
control what they're doing.
Control
Yeah.
you and
Some
what you're
days I
going to
would
do.
go in and be so adamant that I was going to practice one thing, and I would walk out of an hour sparring, like 10 rounds, and
Yeah.
not do it fucking
It
once.
goes out the window. It goes out the window.
I used to do
And
my head in.
I've literally said, I said this to someone the other day. When we get matched, I bet can probably definitely relate. So we're like out of camp, right? So we're just training for fun and still love it every day and whatever. Soon as you get matched for a fight, it's like someone's injected like a drug into you. I'm not even kidding. From the second you get the name,
Yeah.
Obsession.
the next like 8 weeks are just like, you're a fucking lion. Like
animal.
you're just like, I just want to fucking kill everyone.
Yeah. I really felt that, and I think I felt that more so because of the freedom to actually do it, and I think that was really cool to experience that. No limitations almost, you know. There were no boundaries.
Yeah.
I could train 24/7 if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I could go to any gym, anywhere, any bag, I could spar anyone who would spar me.
Yeah.
Like having that freedom was like awesome, and I think that fed the obsession to want to grow and be better.
That's awesome.
The fight itself.
That was
I had to
so
screenshot because I was like just talking to Chelsea about you coming on, and I'm like, we got to talk about this.
Dude, I don't
The
even know.
headline: Renee Gracie's partial dumpster fire boxing debut. I was like, what the fuck? That is horrible for starters. But then I went into it and it was just bagging out your opponent.
Yeah.
Who was literally
What the
terrified
fuck was
to
she
fight
do-
you that she was
literally?
pulling guard. She was actually pulling guard. She kicked you at one point,
She
I'm
kicked
pretty
me.
sure.
She was.
She did it like a headlock takedown.
Yeah. At one
Bro.
stage, she slid down me like I was a stripper pole, and she was the stripper at one stage. And the whole time she was doing it, she was slagging me off, and that was like That was the hardest thing for me, I'm not going to lie. And it was so funny because when it was like, it happened almost instantly. So I think within the first 8 seconds, I gave her an 8 count.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I remember making eye contact with her and she's like, fuck you. And I'm like,
no, fuck you.
Yeah. And I remember going like, oh, like, okay, whoops, my bad. Like, I remember being a bit confused. Like, did I do something wrong? And then we went into it again and we fell to the ground and she went again. And like, I remember hopping back up and the ref's looking at me because he could hear her and I could hear her. And I'm like, oh my God, it's a bit overwhelming. Like, I get it. I was sort of like sympathizing with her.
No, but that is overwhelming for your first fight. Like, that doesn't, like, you don't really... With someone with experience, I've never had that.
Never had
someone that has experience fighting, they're not just going to waste their breath talking to you and say, fuck
And
you.
we fell to the ground, so I'm like, oops, like maybe I tripped. Like I didn't know what had happened. It was all very confusing and I obviously had no idea. I had 6 months preparation, right? Yeah. And I felt confident, I felt good, and I had literally in my brain, I'm like, I'm going to plan it for everything to happen. I'm okay if I get knocked out, like whatever. I don't care. Like I was just happy to be there. I enjoyed the process. And when this stuff started happening, I just, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, like always expect the unexpected is what I was thinking. And then I also was sympathizing with her because I felt that was coming out of like she was a bit
freaking out,
scared and stressed. So I didn't really think much of it. But then it was like the second takedown, the third takedown, the slurring and the slander was getting worse. Like then she started calling me like a dumb slut and like all of these things. And then it was getting worse and worse. And this is all in the first round, mind you.
Like, how many fights have we had?
That's
I've never had that.
Technically in a sanctioned fight, that's a DQ. If you start talking in
your
fight,
she eventually did get disqualified. Yeah. And I remember looking at the ref going, bro, like what's going on?
What is going? She
and
just
like,
didn't want to fight you. She was.
He gave
terrified.
her a warning, and I didn't. Like I was sort of like confused, and I walked over to my coaches because by this time I'm seeing red.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to box while getting in headlocks. I realized every time I got close to her, all she was doing was grabbing my head.
Yes.
So that was pissing me off.
Also, you've prepared 6 months for a fight. You want to have a fight.
Yeah.
Like she needs to start throwing some fucking punches.
Yeah.
Like,
and I gave her the opportunity. So she got a warning. My coaches are like, what are you doing? And I'm like, she's fucking swearing at me. Because I didn't realise no one could hear it. We were in a crowd of 5,000 people. No one could hear it. And so I'm like, oh my God, no one knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks we're just body slamming and trying to like hump each other on the floor. But no one realises that I'm about to lose my shit and kick her teeth in because she called me a slut. And in my mind.
It's warranted, to be honest. Yeah. She deserved it.
And I'm like, I need to compose myself. Yeah. Like I can't. And I'm just like trying to figure it out. And then the start of the second round, I actually tried to let her come towards me. And so I'm like, maybe she just needs to get a few punches in.
Yeah.
Like,
build a confidence up.
Yeah, get her to come. Like,
come to me.
I was sympathizing the whole time. And I thought, okay, like I'll just back off a little bit, right? And it just did not go that way. The second she got close, head slam, body.
She kept turning away too.
It's a shame that was your experience with boxing or with a first fight because it's just so out there. Like that hasn't happened. From my whole fight career and even watching even the tradie fights, most of the fights are all good sports. They're all just there having a go and they, have respect for each other. Like I've had a few opponents that I haven't liked and she hasn't liked me and we've had some bad words to say about each other before the fight, but after the fight we shake each other's hands, we have mutual respect for each other because we're both in there trying our hardest and doing what we love, and so there's a mutual respect there. So it's a real shame that you kind of your first experience with boxing has left a bad taste in your mouth just from a shit opponent.
Yeah,
like
I would
a shit person.
Yeah, I would say that I still love boxing.
Good.
I would say that I enjoyed every second of it.
Yeah, good.
I would say thank God I won. And she got disqualified.
Yes.
If I had to choose, I would have rather been called a slut than get knocked out. So.
True.
But in saying that, it was I was really being competitive in like who I am. I didn't get to show how well I thought I could have gone.
6 months of training, I'm like...
I actually thought I was I was sparring against girls who had 3 or 4 fights. I felt like the effort, the 6 months was almost like essentially 12 months worth of training I had put in almost. Like I didn't feel like I was going to embarrass myself. Yeah. I actually thought I was going to show people what you can do if you put your mind to it and you work hard for a few months, right? And I was really disappointed for the girl fight.
She kind of took that opportunity away from me. And
we had one chance to unite as the girls. Like as you guys know, the girls don't get much.
They don't get on cards.
It's like one if you're lucky, and it's the first one or something. We were in the middle. Like, we had the prime opportunity. And for me, it was, I didn't talk to her much beforehand because I thought that's what it was just going to be. Like you said before, you have that mutual respect of doing what you love.
Yeah.
That was out the window. It was out the window.
It's such a shame.
It is a shame.
Such a shame. So you got to go again.
Yeah, I was about to say, will you have another fight?
Yeah, they've asked me to come back, but I've said I need to know who I'm fighting, and it needs to be
make it worth my while.
Yeah, it needs to be appropriate. So I do boxing once a week at the moment. I'm just doing it for fun, for fitness. When I can. I haven't done it the last few weeks, so that's a lie. But I'm keeping up with it as much as I can.
Yeah.
Knowing that obviously, like what you said, when they match me with someone and it's a yes, it's going to be like injected in me. I'm going to be like, oh, let's go.
We'll have to train together.
Yes.
We have to all
get ready
spar
for
each
it.
other.
Yeah. No, I think it's going to be really good for me, and I think for my motorsport and everything as well. I think that's another reason why I want to say yes, because I think if it did so much for me in 6 months, what can it do for me?
Absolutely.
Another 6 months worth of training and a whole nother fight and a whole nother camp essentially.
Oh yeah, you'll just level
How
up.
much better will it make me as a person? So no, I loved
That's
it.
so cool. That's so exciting. So apart from boxing, what's next for you in the next 6 months, 12 months?
Well, I think racing.
Your season's over.
Season's finishing up. Yeah, I've got one more round left. I won the championship, so that got tied up at the last round, which is really exciting.
Amazing.
I'm year to year at the moment with my current sponsors, so I'm unsure if I'm racing next year. Nothing's been locked away, so I'm just trying to work on that.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm at this point where I'm so happy with everything that I've done. This year I turned 30, so I was really stubborn, and I've set some goals and done some things, and I've pretty much done all of them.
Yeah.
The only thing that I really want to do is, so I won the trophy championship in 2023. I won the AM championship this year, and no one has won the Pro-Am championship and all 3 championships together. It's never been done before globally.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'd really like to piss some people off and do
That
that.
would be epic.
That would be awesome.
So when would that be?
So next year I would go up to the Pro-Am. So that basically just means that I have a pro driver with me instead of just being the amateur driver.
Yeah.
And to try and win that championship, and
What's
That's
the
pissing
difference
people off.
between an amateur driver and a pro driver?
So a pro driver essentially is ranked off age, or if they make an income, or if they're paid to drive, essentially. So pretty much if someone is from when they first get their license, I think up until 30 is the cutoff, or if they are traveling around the world, they're being paid by brands, manufacturers to race with them full time.
Yeah.
If they're being paid by supercar teams or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
If they're on like an actual solid wage as a racing car driver and that's all they do, kind of thing.
Okay,
Gotcha.
yeah.
I slip into the amateur thing purely because I'm not actually paid to race cars. I don't actually make an income from it. I just have sponsors.
Yes.
My age as well, and I don't race full time. I only race one category. I do 6 races a year, and that's it.
Yeah,
if I was racing 3, 4, 5 other categories and generating an income, I would qualify to be a pro.
Yeah, right. So obviously sponsors are super important in that sport too. Mm-hmm. Just like we were talking about fight sports. It's like we literally, you would just earn nothing. You were just fighting.
Or you'd make enough money to be able to do what you had to do. That's what people don't understand with motorsport. It's like, I generate great sponsorship, but I don't see a cent from it.
No, it all goes back in.
It all goes back in.
Yep.
It has to. It has to.
To keep going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's all
Literally
over.
keep the wheels chugging along.
Literally keep the fuel in the car.
Literally, yeah. It's so tough. It's weird with people's perception with that in sport, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they see the Conor McGregors and the glitz and the glam.
But he doesn't
of
even
it.
really make he's got whiskey, he's got other business. Like,
Yeah.
his main income source has probably never been from fighting.
No, why do you think he hasn't fought in so long?
It's crazy as people's perception of it, I guess. Do you guys get prize money?
We do.
We
do, but it's not much.
So I get asked that all the time.
Yeah.
I get asked that all the time. How much prize money did you win for winning the championship?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
See, at least we do get paid to fight. But
It's barely.
it's barely.
Yeah, probably
Unless
wouldn't
you're
even
at the
cover the
top,
cost of the
top.
flights or whatever
No,
sometimes.
sometimes it's you're in the red. Like a lot of my fights, even in the UFC, they were, I was in the red. Most of my fight camps, I made nothing.
Especially because you need to fly coaches over. Like, they're only going to cover you and one coach. So you have training partners, other coaches. They only fly you in for fight week. We're traveling 24 plus hours to fight.
Yeah.
So we need to get there. We can't get there like 6 days before the fight.
No,
the jet lag's going to fucking ruin us.
Yeah.
So then we need a week's before of accommodation, and then
it all adds up.
it does.
I just obviously know that through what I've done. Like I've never met, like I've met sports people throughout, and I've never met somebody who doesn't do a conventional thing like soccer or AFL or whatever it may be. But if they're sort of off that beaten track, like everyone has the same story.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't understand.
There's so much money in the sport. They could get looked after. But
That's what I don't understand. Same as motorsport. There's so much money to go around, and the drivers and the heroes, 90% of them are left with nothing.
It's a shame. It's really sad
It's really
because
sad.
they're the reason why the sport's so popular. Like there's no sport without them, and then they just get the shit end of the deal every time. And something's got to change, but
I feel like we're in a good stage now, though, with women in sport, I will
Yes.
say.
Yeah.
Thank God, about time. Would have been good 10 years ago when I was trying to have a racing career, but
know.
that's probably something that's going to help a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe not for us, maybe in our careers or maybe towards the end, but surely
For
in,
the next
the next
generation.
generation,
Yeah.
it has to. Like, it's so huge now. It has to.
It's crazy that like we often talk about the small pool of females that fight, especially in Australia. Like it's so tiny, but now we've met you, and yours is ours is tiny, and yours is like just you.
Yeah, literally
Just you.
Yeah, there's no other girl that's raced GT3s ever.
That's nuts.
freaking
I love that for you
wild.
though. Like you're making history. You're paving the way for other young girls that are going to come up in go-karting.
Yes.
You're inspiring a whole new generation of girls that are going to see what you've gone through and how you've navigated through it and come out on top in life, not just in the sport itself,
Just
but
in
in
general.
life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
I try
you can
to-
inspire a lot of young girls.
I try to lessen the gaps. That's my goal.
Yeah.
So I feel like the gaps between, like, I hope that the gaps get less. So, like, when I raced in Porsche Carrera Cup, there was another girl who did it full time in 2023. I think it was 14 years from when I had
wow.
raced to when she had raced.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, like surely
We can't go another
we
14
can't
years.
go. We
No.
can't. This
Surely
is not
there's-
sustainable for women in motorsport. Like, we cannot keep doing this.
Yeah.
Like, that is crazy. So it's like I hope that those gaps get shorter and shorter, and eventually it won't be one. It'll be there's two, and there's 3 girls, and there's 4 girls. And the issue, similar to boxing as well with the Australian motorsport, any girls that are able to, and generally comes from parent funding, go overseas.
Yeah.
Because women are more accepted. Like Europe and America,
Yes.
it's far more acceptable to be a woman who's good at anything, really,
Yeah.
and not be shut down or frowned upon or have the tall poppy syndrome.
Yeah.
And a lot of girls go over there because it's just easy.
Easier.
It's just easy.
Have you ever gone to go over, or you're just like, no, I'm staying here?
I didn't get to go over when I was younger because I didn't have a lot of money, and the sponsorship was just to run in Australia. So I didn't have spare funds to maybe fly over to Europe and have a sniff around or do a go-kart race or anything like that, unfortunately. And now that I'm back here, I'm like, this is it. I've established myself here. This is where I am. This is where my fans are. This is home. This is what I love doing. If I ever got an opportunity to run something overseas, I'd obviously take it if it would fit. But this is it for me.
Yeah.
I'm starting to drop off, I'm 30. I'm old now. And
You're in your retirement plan.
yeah. So
You're not old. If you're
not
old,
good.
I am ancient.
motorsport world, I'm getting there. So, but no, this is it for me. I'm pretty happy to do that. But I want to stop that perception. Like, people shouldn't have to leave Australia to do sport.
We say the exact same thing.
And I feel like in motorsport, and it might be the same for you guys, and from the little bit of boxing that I know, Australia produces incredible
athletes. Amazing athletes.
I don't know what it is in the water here, but you go over there, and I've seen in motorsport, in boxing and other sports, like you see an Australian compete in anything.
Different animal, hey.
It's like an
It's so
Aussie
true.
is different. Like, we got a lot of guys who go overseas for motorsport because there's big money in like NASCAR and IndyCar and stuff. And you look at them, and they are just smoking the guys in America, and you're just like, man, like,
There's a different drive too. Like, whenever I've trained with like the Americans or something, there's something different. Like, even in fight weeks, we're so like disciplined and hungry and driven, and then you've got
I think it comes from being dismissed because we're just from Australia. They don't take us seriously.
It's true.
Yeah, that's a
We
good
got a chip on
point.
our shoulder.
Being all the way down here.
That's so true.
What do you know about racing? What do you know about fighting? Or wrestling is a big thing in MMA. Like, Australians can't wrestle.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
Watch this.
see. We'll
Yeah,
see.
watch this. No, I always find that's one thing that I'm proud to be an Australian for that reason.
Yeah.
I think if you can be competitive in Australia, you can pretty much be competitive anywhere in the world. So that's
Absolutely
good to know.
Yeah, I love that.
Little hair flip.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, that was the best chat. Thank you. Seriously, I'm so inspired.
Oh, no, thank you.
I think you're an amazing ambassador for women in sport, and just keep smashing it and get that third title.
Yes, thank you. I'll try. I'll be trying my best. Don't you worry.
Be watching.
Yeah, we'll
Thank
be
you.
watching.
And we'll be waiting for your fight announcement.
Yeah.
Yes.
Might need some coaching. Might need some tips. I'll let you know.
How about we go in your corner?
Well, I think after
about
the
we just
last
do it-
fight, I'm going to
love
need
to.
some boxing, some MMA, some
Yeah, I think
UFC,
so.
some wrestling. I'm going to need a bit of everything.
yeah, because you don't know what she's
You're
going to
both
do.
going to get the call up, I think.
You have to get a mouth as well. Get some swearing training.
Yeah, I'll
We'll
start
get
by
Beck in.
swearing.
I'll get Beck in to be the mouth, and then I'll come in and be I'll pull the guard.
Done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome.
No,
Appreciate
thank
it, guys.
you. That
Thanks.
was awesome. Thanks, hon.
Cool. It was really good.
Sorry, that went over, but also we had to
No, we had
start.
technical difficulties.